guys, and welcome back to Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc. As always, I am DemonFire93, and last time we found the body of Sakura, and Hina thinks that Monokuma had something to do with it, and that, well, yeah, Monokuma was basically saying that he owes whoever killed her. I hate him. I hate this whole thing. Well, I, for one, am glad it was Sakura. She was working for the mastermind after all. How can you say that now? Sorry, I don't have time for your squabbling. The next game has already begun. If you want to be angry at someone, be angry at whoever killed Sakura.
Anyway...
Right now, our top priority needs to be uncovering Sakura's killer. If we can't do that, we're all dead. Then let's decide who will stand guard this time. I'll do it. Hina? I'm okay. Just let me handle it. Besides, I want to be here with Sakura.
That's fine.
Okay, then Hina is guard number 1, but we need one more. Kyoko, that's you.
What?
Me? You're always a thorn in my side. This time, just stand by and watch quietly. Consider that an order. God, Byakuya, you're such a piece of shit. An order?
That's fine.
Fine. I'll stay behind. Then it's settled. Let's begin, shall we? Hold on. Before that, there's something I want to say.
What?
Which is... Hiro, Byakuya, Toko, none of you are allowed to step foot in the crime scene. What?
It's your fault!
One of you killed Sakura. I won't let someone like that come anywhere near her.
Stop talking.
Don't be stupid. Our lives are in just as much danger as yours. We have every right to investigate. I don't care what you say. I'm not letting the one who killed Sakura anywhere near her. Even if it means I have to use force, you're not getting in here. Well, it appears further discussion would be a waste of time. How about a compromise?
It's all clear now.
I won't ask you to let all of us in. Just let me. What? You don't really care, do you? You're both useless anyway.
Yep.
Nope, don't really care. I'd rather spend my time coming with another splendid fantasy involving Master anyway. And you, Hiro, do you really object? If you're gonna go that far, what can I do? I mean, I don't have anything to hide, so why should I care?
It's all clear now.
Then it's decided.
What are you saying?
Nothing's decided.
Calm down.
I know how you feel, Hina, but you should agree to his request. But...
Hey.
We have to find out who killed Sakura.
Correct.
For those of us still alive, and to honor Sakura's memory. Fine. I guess that's okay. But no matter what, Byakuya, you absolutely aren't allowed to touch her. Naturally. Who would want to touch a filthy dead body?
Listen.
That's enough fighting. We need to focus on the investigation from here on out. Everyone, keep this in mind. If we can't uncover Sakura's killer,
Listen to me.
all of us face execution. Finding out who killed Sakura, it's not a matter of hoping we can do it. If we want to survive, we have to do it. It's a kind of hopeless hope. We have no choice but to just do it. Oh boy. Investigate. I better check the Monokuma file before anything else. The victim was Sakura Okami. The time of death is estimated to be around 12 noon. The body was discovered in the rec room on the 3rd floor of the school. There is evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. No other injuries were noted. However, it seems that at some point the victim suffered from violent vomiting of blood. Monokuma file number 4 has been added to the truth bullet section of my handbook.
Hey.
I think the case this time might be a challenge. Why is that?
So...
The only way into the rec room is the door we just came through. And that door had been jammed shut with the chair from inside the rec room. Which means the killer would have had to escape somehow after barring the door. So if the door was blocked from the inside and there was no way in or out till he broke the window, there's like zero escape, right?
In other words,
this is a classic locked room murder. Locked room murder? Closed door murder is also the way, but yes, locked door murder, locked room murder. I guess you might see this kind of thing in a lot in mystery movies or books or whatever, but could it really happen in real life and right before our very eyes like this?
hey,
Are you curious to hear more about what a locked room murder entails? Sure, if you don't mind.
that's fine.
When you break down this kind of murder mystery, there are 4 basic types. The first type is when the locked room is created after the actual crime is committed. This simply means that the killer commits his crime, then through some special method seals the room. This mainly involves some sort of trick involving the locking of the room. Basic approaches include using a string or symbol mechanism. There are a number of variations. So for that, all we'd have to do is check the door to see if that's what it was, right?
Correct.
The second type is when the locked room already exists before the crime is committed. Oh?
In other words,
Basically, the killer uses a special contraption or tool from outside to target the victim inside. You push a switch and it fires a handgun, or you shoot an arrow through a gap in the door, something like that.
however,
But in this case, that doesn't seem to fit. There are no guns or arrows in the school, and the door doesn't have any gap that would allow it. Yeah, I think we can probably cross that one off the list.
it's true.
The third type is when the killer stays in the room until it's opened up. What do you mean by that?
In other words,
They stay hidden, and when the door is open, they use the confusion to blend in with the group. Okay. They pretend they showed up along with everyone else, and that's that. That sounds like it could have been possible, maybe.
it's true.
And the fourth and final type is when it wasn't actually a locked room at all. Okay. Not a locked room?
In other words,
By that I mean there actually is an alternate escape route somewhere within this room. Oh. You see this a lot in novels and things, but in reality it's generally not possible. Then you think we can cross that one off too?
indeed.
I believe so, yes. So when it comes to locker room mysteries, those are the basics. So there are 4 possibilities, and when we talk about it, there's actually only 2. Then, Kyoko, which of those 4 choices seems the most likely in this case?
It's true.
That's a good question. Answering that should be our primary focus during this trial. Hold on, let me just try and toss a coin. Heads. It was probably that it was already locked. And when the killer did something from outside. But right now, I can't really say. I see. The way the killer set up the locked room, until I figure that out, the truth behind Sakura's death will stay hidden. It's definitely a tough mystery. I need to concentrate and investigate as much as I can. For Sakura, if nothing else. Alright, let's investigate. This looks like some kind of a wrapper. Huh? Do you recognize it, Hina? Well, yeah, I mean, I gave it to her. That's a candy wrapper. Sakura got super upset when she found out Genocide Jack and attacked me, right? So after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. I thought it might help her calm down a little. So you gave that candy to Sakura. And was it poisoned? I found a big box of it in the warehouse. I really like them. Actually, as soon as we could get into the warehouse, I took the entire box back to my room. I made sure nobody else could get their hands on them. You really like them that much, so you could be the only person who could have poisoned the candy. But I wanted Sakura to get a chance to try one for herself. That's why I gave it to her. But now they've lost all their flavor. Hina, polka dot candy wrapper has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Okay. This door is the only way in or out of the rec room. The door doesn't have a lock, and there's no evidence that the mountings have been tampered with. The only notable change to the door is the smashed window, which happened, of course, when I broke it to get inside. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the door. In other words, I don't see anything suspicious about the door itself. There's a big canister thing, Protozyme X. There's some kind of a plastic container rolling around near the entrance to the room.
So,
It looks like a protein drink and it's empty. Sakura must have drank it. Everybody knows how much she loved her protein. And she mentioned more than once how protein is good and it was good for all sorts of ailments.
Wrong.
I wouldn't take that to heart if I were you. I know. But still, this protein can, it's got a label on it that says Chem A2. That reminds me, Sakura mentioned how the Chem Lab had all kinds of health stuff. So she must have gotten this from the Chem Lab.
Just a second.
But that's strange. What is it?
Hey,
You see what's scattered around the can? Shards of light blue glass. They must be parts of the window I broke to get inside. So then why are they under the can?
correct.
But they aren't just scattered around the can, they're also underneath it. Why does that matter?
So,
I can't say for sure yet, but you're probably going to want to take note of it. I feel like it'll become an important clue later on. Yeah, I mean, if it were there before the window breaking, glass would be around it and on top of it. But the fact that there's glass underneath it means that was planted evidence. Essentially, is what I'm thinking. An important clue. I'm not sure I see how. Empty protein drink has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Right. Okay. Talk to Byakuya.
What?
What do you want? You're bothering me. Go away. He's not even trying to hide how much he despises me. I better go before he crushes my soul completely. Kyoko?
however,
But for Sakura to have been killed. Yeah, she's not the type who would go down without a fight.
it's true.
And she certainly didn't, I would say. She was the ultimate martial artist, strong in body, mind, and spirit. So how was the killer able to get the upper hand on her? I wonder, did someone get the upper hand? They must have taken her by surprise, right?
Certainly.
Certainly. They would have needed to if they expected to stand any chance against her. Well, I mean, I know it wasn't Kyoko, because Kyoko and I were together. Well, no. During that time that I went to sleep, she could have done it, but I don't know what happened. I don't know who to trust.
What the heck?
We already know who did it. Byakuya, Toko, or Hina. It had to be one of them. Or Hiro. Sorry, not Hina. That you're Hina. They couldn't stand the sight of her. You agree with me, don't you, Makoto? No. Well, I don't want to say anything for sure without finding out more. Then let me help you find out more. You see, Sakura asked all three of them to meet with her. You know where? Right here in the rec room. What? After I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually she went off on her own. But when I saw her again after that, she told me. She said she'd left a note for each of them. She asked them to meet her in the rec room by noon. By noon, the Monokuma file said she died right around then. I'm telling you the truth. I heard it right from Sakura herself. And I tried to stop her, but she wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she just wanted to talk to them. And this is what happened. If I'd stopped her, by force even, this never would have happened. Hina. It's impossible not to have regrets, I know. Hina's account has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. But the fact that she had asked those three to meet with her, and then she asked them to come to the rec room at noon, the same time and place where she ended up dying, it might be good to confirm what I just heard with the three of them directly. Byakuya, what do you have to say? There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Make it quick. Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her in the rec room? So you found out. Interesting. Then it's true? I did receive a note. I did receive a note to that effect, yes. But what fool would do what it said and risk being killed by that monster? So you didn't go to see her? Of course not. I ripped the note to shreds and threw it away. I haven't seen Sakura today at all. Until now. Byakuya says he didn't go see her. Is that the truth? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact.
Come on.
If you're all finished, Please remove yourself from my sight. Okay, thanks. Byakuya's account has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Clock. It's around 1 o'clock right now. According to the Monokuma file, Sakura died around 12 noon, so roughly an hour ago. Was that when Kyoko and I were moving alter ego? What do we have here? That same shelf full of magazines. There's all different kinds of magazines here. Okay. There's a blood stain. There's a blood stain in front of the magazine shelf. It must have come from Sakura, right? But that doesn't make sense. Why is it so far away from where she died? Magazine shelf blood stain has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Sakura drew her last breath sitting slumped forward in this chair. There's obvious evidence of the blow to the head Sakura suffered. Normally, I wouldn't have any problem believing that that's what killed her. But according to the Monokuma file, she had also vomited blood. And I can see a trace of blood on her lips for sure. So what would have caused her to vomit blood? Poison? The Monokuma file specifically said she hadn't suffered any other injuries. Status of Sakura's body has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Maybe her getting hit on the head somehow caused her to start vomiting blood? Not a chance, you fucking idiots. Byakuya!
That's fine.
However, your eyes have landed on a most interesting location. Interesting?
Naturally.
Yes, most interesting, don't you agree? No, I don't think I'd call it interesting, but it does make me wonder. The reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely has to be connected to the way she died, to why she died. Shattered glass. There are shards of glass scattered all around the chair Sakura was sitting on. The glass is all red, and these are the top and bottom sections of a bottle, right? So this must have originally been a bottle. Like the bottles of the Monokuma chess pieces? Glass shards on the floor has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Huh? There's something else on the ground near the glass. It's a figure. It fits in the palm of my hand. It's a Monokuma figure. Figure on the floor has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Yeah. There's one missing. There are 4 red bottles lined up on the shelf. Wait a second. There's 2 gaps. There were 6 of them. And inside each bottle, there's some kind of Monokuma figure. What I'm wondering is how they get those figures inside the bottles. That's not the thing to be wondering right now. Makoto, it's no different from your standard ship in a bottle. Huh? You know, where the bottle's opening is smaller than the boat it's placed inside. You've never seen that before? Oh yeah, maybe I have.
In other words...
So this is the Monokuma version of that. A Monokuma bottle, if you will. Monokuma bottle has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. There's 2 of them missing. Hello, you idiots. I feel like I'm finally starting to make sense of things, little by little. The Monokuma bottles sitting on the shelf. The Monokuma figure we found on the ground. The red shards of glass, which probably started out as a bottle. Which would mean Sakura must have been hit in the head with a Monokuma bottle, right? The shards of glass and the Monokuma figure are evidence of that. So I think it's safe to say the Monokuma bottle was the weapon. This locker's opened up. Huh? The locker's open, and there on the inside, it's a handprint?
Why?
What's a handprint doing here? It looks like someone touched the inside of the locker, and it left a handprint in all the dust.
It's true.
And it looks quite fresh, too. I'd say someone was hiding here in the locker, and they left behind a little something extra. So then, maybe the killer hid in here until the locker room was open, don't you think? And during all the confusion, they popped out and joined the rest of the group.
Wrong.
Unfortunately, that's not a possibility. Huh? Why not?
Hey.
Think back. Before we opened the door, we looked inside the room, right? The locker door was already open! Oh yeah, and the locker was already open at that point.
Indeed.
So there's no way someone could have hidden in there until after we opened the door. Yeah, so then... what does this handprint mean? Locker handprint has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Is there anything else? Oh, good lord! I mean...
Hey,
She was the ultimate martial artist, strong in body, mind, and spirit. So how does the killer get able to the upper hand on her? I wonder, did someone get the upper hand?
certainly.
Chair, of course, I forgot. The chair was shoved up against the doorknob, so we couldn't get the door open, and there's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the chair. In other words, there's no reason to think the chair had anything special done to it. Having examined both the door and the chair, there's no doubt the reason the door didn't open was simply because the chair was shoved up against it. This kept the doorknob from turning, and the door from opening. And there was no evidence of the door or chair being tampered with or anything like that. So the killer must have created the locked door from the inside, not from the outside. Rec room door has been added to the truth bolt section of your handbook.
Listen,
Well, Makoto, have you finished with your general investigation? Yeah, I think so, for the most part.
so then,
Then you should probably go talk with people now. I'm on guard duty, so I can't leave.
listen to me.
Which is why I've decided you'll go in my place. She's decided? She's gotten a lot more pushy since we had our issue. But she's right. I do have to go talk to the others. Sakura wanted to meet with 2 other people. I needed to hear what they have to say. Right, I'm on it. Okay, can I leave? Okay, I don't want to use that. Okay, fine. I'll exit via the exit button instead of through the door. Those other 2 probably went back to their rooms. But what if I checked the rec room? Or I need to go get more info. Oh, fine. I mean, laundry, not rec room. Oh, Sayaka. Toko? I press the doorbell. And after a few seconds...
Who's there?
the most negative aura I've ever felt. An aura of total decay.
Well, what do you want?
So you're back to normal. Genocide Jack isn't around anymore.
Don't even say her name. It makes me sick to my stomach. I was in such a good mood, too.
Okay. She didn't look like she was in a good mood.
Hey, I was hoping to talk to you about something. Is now a bad time?
Of course it is, you idiot! Obviously annoyed, Toko slithered out into the hall.
What do you want?
You said you wanted to talk to me about something. I wanted to talk about the fact that Sakura had asked to meet with you. What?
Well,
I don't know what you're talking about. Byakuya already told me she had asked to meet with him. What? She wanted to meet with Master too? Oh, I just said 2, didn't I? I guess now it's totally obvious, huh? Yeah, pretty much. So can you tell me about it? I admit it. I didn't get the note. But I didn't go see her. I was scared, so I couldn't bring myself to go. Toko claims she didn't go see her, but can I really believe her? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact. Is that good enough? Then I'm going back to my room. With that, Toko quickly retreated into her room. Toko's guide has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Well, damn. Hero? I press the doorbell. And after a few seconds...
You know?
What's up, Makoto? Did you need something? Yeah, actually, I just wanted to check something. It's about how Sakura wanted to meet with you.
How did you know about that? Could it be? Did you maybe gaze into my soul? Have your special abilities awakened in you? But I'm not the only one she wanted to meet with. Ogre told me herself that she'd asked Byakuya and Toko to come too.
What? When did Sakura tell you that?
When she asked me to meet with her, of course.
But didn't she write you a note?
A note. She gave it to me in person. She happened to mention the others, like in passing.
I gotta be honest, this is super suspicious. So then you went and met with Sakura.
Got it all wrong. No way. I totally didn't. Why would I ever do that?
Yeah, definitely suspicious.
Actually,
The last time I saw Ogre was when Hina got hurt and I took her to the nurse's office.
We took her to the nurse's office, Hero.
don't look at me.
I haven't seen her since then until I saw her dead body.
While I'm here, could you show me the note she gave you?
Do I still have it? Let's see.
Hero was feeling around in his pockets.
Hey, come on.
Oh, sorry. It looks like I don't have it anymore.
Of course. With a big goofy smile on his face, he pulled his hands back out of his pockets. But when he did, I saw something flutter to the ground. Something had fallen out of Hero's pocket. Huh? Oh!
What?
Quick as the wind, Hero snatched it back up again and shoved it back into his pocket.
Hey, come on.
Sorry, just a bit of trash I forgot to throw out.
That was a candy wrapper, just like the one that Hina said, and she had all of them. So how did you get one? Trash?
What?
Anyway, I can't deny that Ogre asked to meet with me, but I never went. So, well, if you'll excuse me.
Before waiting for a reply, Hero quickly slipped back into his room. Hero said that was just a scratch, but there's no way that's all there was to it. Pocket trash has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Okay, so I've heard from Toko and Hero. What next? I'll definitely have to look at the actual crime scene again, but on top of that, maybe I should find out more about the protein can we found on the floor of the rec room. I'm sure it must have come from the chem lab, so where should I start? Chem lab! Why am I walking? Data lab. Where's the chem lab again? Office. Headmaster. Chem. Here we are. Yes, indeed. Byakuya, you came to the same conclusion, huh? Makoto, did you have your eye on the chem lab too? Just make sure you don't get in my way. Yeah, I got it. I think what you meant to say was, yes, sir, I understand. Fuck you, Byakuya, is what I meant to say.
So, did you find anything out?
So did you find anything out? Somehow I can sense him saying, leave me alone, without him even having to say it. Well, this isn't my first time seeing the shelf, but I just can't get over how big it is. I should probably take a closer look at it. It looks like 3 shelves have been connected together to make one giant shelf. But more important right now, what's that powder that's been spilled in front of the shelf? I have to be careful not to step in it. Looks like somebody already did. These are footprints, and they're only in front of the left shelf. How do these footprints relate to the scene as a whole? We may need to sketch out the floor plan. By we, do you mean me? How kind of you to offer. With an insufferable smirk, he handed me a piece of paper and pen.
What?
Well, let's go. Chop chop.
Okay. So I got to work, and before long, I'd drawn up a sketch of the room. So how's this? Not bad. For you, I mean. For me?
See.
So, when you look at it like this, interesting. It would appear that whoever left these footprints only had business at the leftmost shelf. They came in, went straight to that shelf, did whatever they had to do, and then left. That's what the footprints tell me. They tell me that somebody was dancing. These footprints must be...
It's certainly possible.
Makoto, are they yours? No.
What?
Okay, then let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size for myself. I couldn't think of a reason not to, so I quietly did what Byakuya said. I see. Your feet do appear to be too big. Unfortunately, I must admit these are not your footprints. Unfortunately? But with how clear these footprints are, it should be quite easy to determine who they do belong to. Then these prints are a really valuable clue. Oh boy. That's all the time we got for today though, guys. So, hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you guys next time.